Okay. Hi, Owen. Okay. The isolation period for you, what was that made easier with the performance of the team in your absence, and looking ahead to the World Cup? Could it have done you a few favours in terms of revealing a few names that maybe might have slipped under the radar?
It's certainly, I think it was great to watch. I think one of the benefits of it was over, the last 6 years. You don't get to enjoy the cricket that we play as much as you would have liked, but sitting back and watching the way the guys played alone, without the results that they achieved, it was hugely satisfying. They played an exciting brand of cricket. They looked like they really enjoyed themselves, and the result came with that. So it was all round hugely beneficial for everybody.
Is there anything you can learn from Bristol and Bubbles? We spoke to Tom Harrison this morning, a briefing for the 100, and he was talking about mitigating COVID rather than preventing it, and how tough it is for the mental health of players. Just how difficult is it, and are there any lessons that can be learned?
Yeah, I think it's well known that it has been difficult now for a long time. I think one thing that we have done well, and ECB has done well, is manage players' time throughout the stages that they've been in and out of bubbles, and actually prioritise certain things. So on the test side, the guys prioritised the Ashes and the up-and-coming test series against India. And with the white ball group, we prioritised the T20 World Cup. And I think working back from that, with hopefully working towards guys coming into form and feeling refreshed by that stage, you can manage workloads around guys getting a chance to get some more and more outside.
And on a slightly lighter note, we understand a couple of the players have gone for the Phil Foden bleach blonde look. Can you confirm that? And is there any chance at all that you might follow suit?
Me? No.
Thanks,
Cool,
Tim.
no.
Cheers, Tim. Rory, do you want to kick off from a written point of view?
Sure. Owen, obviously winning the World Cup with your team was a great moment of pride and everything. But did seeing almost the next generation come up and say that the way you played your white ball cricket had inspired them, does that make you sort of even prouder that the legacy continues?
Yeah, I think everybody within the group was extremely proud to watch the guys go out and play in the fashion that they did, simply because it's the biggest compliment that you could pay to anybody who was part of the World Cup group. The way that we played over the last 5 years has had such an impact on the game, and proved that trying to take the game forward or being at the edge of the game is exactly where we want to be. And then considering where we were in 2015 to where we are now is a huge achievement. And certainly guys recognize that opportunities are few and far between, but when they do come, the method in which the team play, the successful method that we've applied is starting to resonate with people up and down the country, which is great.
Can you tell us how much of people like Saqib and Lewis Gregory, how much good have they done themselves in terms of giving themselves a chance of breaking in? People always talk about your side being the hardest team in sport to break into, but you've got a couple of guys at least making a pretty good shout of it.
Yeah, they've done themselves the world of good, to be honest. The one thing you look at when guys come in and out of sides, particularly when they don't have opportunities to play a lot, is a marked improvement from the time that they get the opportunity to the next time that the next opportunity might arise. The two guys you mentioned in particular, and James Vince, were outstanding throughout the one-day series. And when you look at a guy like James Vince coming into the prime of his career, only 30 years old, knows his game inside out, very mature innings that he played at Edgbaston, it really does show strength and depth within our side.
Cheers, Rory. We'll go to you and then Ali after that.
Hi, Owen. Could you just talk us through kind of the carnage of last Monday and Tuesday as you kind of learned that your whole squad was being wiped out as it was, and sort of what went on from your point of view?
Yeah, it was actually it wasn't as chaotic as probably it seemed on the outside. Obviously, it's a nervous time for everybody when you're sort of sitting around in your hotel room waiting on test results and worried about other players that have symptoms and various other things going on. So I thought it was managed extremely well by the ECB and our management team. But for a long time, we've done incredible work to keep the virus out of our bubble. Now that we're moving towards life with COVID, it's sort of inevitable that things will happen, but it's great to see that there are plans in place when it does happen.
And can you talk us through your kind of involvement in the series last week? Were you just a sort of interested onlooker from home watching the games on TV? Were you talking to Ben much, or was it just totally hands off from you?
Yeah, no, I didn't speak to Ben a lot. I spoke to him pre-series. You know, he took us out of a huge hole coming back early from his injury, and I think leading the way he did was a huge compliment to the leader he is within our side. How mature he's been as a leader and now a captain. You could see in every game, you know, the opportunity that he gave guys at different stages to learn more about them as players and looking at the bigger picture down the line, as opposed to probably throwing himself in at every opportunity that he gets a chance to do. So I sort of sat back. I spoke to the coach a lot, just about different ideas, more long term. But all of the feedback from both Ben and Chris is that it just went really, really well. It was a great exercise.
And given he rushed himself back from his injury, was he always going to sit out these T20s now? Is that why he's not here?
No, to be honest, we gave him every chance to be fit. Obviously, he hasn't played a lot of cricket, and not only does he want to play a lot of cricket, but he's had some R&R at home and feels quite fresh. His finger hasn't come along as he and the medical team would have liked. So I thought it was important that it's as good as it can be for the Test match series.
Ali?
Hi, Owen. Good to see you back. I'm just wondering, looking ahead to this this series, what are you looking to get out of this series, in particular these three games? Obviously, time is ticking on the World Cup preparations, and you're perhaps not at full strength as you might have been previously.
Yeah, you're spot on. I think there are very few opportunities. Yeah, and probably not knowing what's ahead of ourselves, we need to sort of look more into a little bit more strength and depth. So probably the opportunities for guys within our squad at the moment, you will see over the next three games, and going through various different options for possible injury replacements for certain players within the group, you'll see as well. So
sorry, does that mean there'd be a bit more, possibly a bit more rotation in this series than we see normally?
Yeah, 100%. The priority throughout the series will be to give guys opportunity, and treating it, you know, as if it's sort of our last chance to look at guys in various positions.
And are you able to give us a team for tomorrow?
No, sorry, I can't give. I never give this.
It was always worth a go. Cheers.
Thanks, Ali. Matt, did you want to have a go now?
Yeah, please. Hi, Owen. You spoke a bit about death bowling during the Sri Lanka series and not feeling like you'd been tested. Is Saqib someone who could be tried in that role in this series?
Yeah, I think everybody is going to get an opportunity to bowl at the death. Probably not our spinners as much, but certainly the seamers. You know, when you're looking at an area of improvement, you don't always look at your best guys to do it when you're trying to plan ahead. So certainly everybody will have a chance. Obviously, Sakib's coming off a pretty big high of bowling well in the one-day series. But obviously, T20 is a different game, and certainly in the first couple of games, probably not being exposed in the death bowling side of it, but because they bowled so well, so it's an opportunity. These 3 games is to look at guys under pressure.
So someone like Chris Jordan, who's been sort of one of your go-tos at the death, we might not see him in that role. He might bowl a bit more in the power play or in the middle.
I still think the roles will be the same, but there will be rotation throughout the squad.
Okay, cheers.
Thanks, Matt. John?
Hi, can I just ask you a couple of questions about the 100? This series finishes on Tuesday and pretty much straight into the 100. Do you know when the London Spirit squad assembles, how many training sessions you might have, that sort of thing?
Yeah, the guys are getting together on Monday, was the last that I heard. Training sessions, it'll be, to be honest, it's going to be a lot of confidence building and team building work as opposed to actual training on the ground, specific stuff. Guys are coming out of 2 or 3 weeks of T20 Blast and a couple of championship games over the last couple of weeks. So they've played a lot of cricket. So it won't be very much cricket-based stuff.
And is Shane Warne over here? Would he take those training sessions, or those, not trainings, those sessions?
Sorry, I missed the start of that. What was that?
Is Shane Warne here? Shane arrived?
Yeah. He's been here a while.
Right. And have you spoken to him much about, tactics and that sort of stuff?
We've been speaking for the last, since the very first draft about different ideas and different things. So actually, more so recently has been about our wild card picks and potential replacement players, with guys potentially being called up for the India Test match series. So the tactical side of it, we've discussed a lot, but over a longer period of time.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, John. We'll just finish off with Will then, and then we'll be done.
Sorry, and just on last week's series, was there anyone who kind of caught you by surprise, who kind of performed over your expectations? Obviously, you've had a lot of these guys in large bubbles over last year, but was there anyone who kind of really sort of caught you by surprise?
No, is the honest answer. I thought guys were, we spent a lot of time sort of prepping. Ireland we played first, and then we spent a lot of time in the bubble in Southampton. So the 2 weeks that we spent down there, you see a lot of guys like Carr, Salt, pretty much the majority of the rest of them we've seen a lot of before, but there wasn't anything that surprised me.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thanks, Owen. Thanks all. We'll leave it there then. We'll see you virtually tomorrow. Cheers.